Welcome, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. We have a few speakers lined up with us today that we're very, very grateful to have with us. So we're going to start with Chloe, and then we're going to move on to Kevin, and then we're going to be hearing from our youngest speaker today, Romario. I'm going to hand over now to Chloe and Elaine, who's joining her today from Segal, and then they'll get us started.
Yes. Okay. Hi, everyone. We are Segal, come from Taiwan. And my name is Chloe Chien, one of the presenters. And the other presenter is Elaine Wang. Nice to meet all of you. In this session, we will briefly introduce ourselves and bring up some background knowledge about cigarette butts pollution. Also, talking about how we tackle this problem and what are our suggestions to people who are concerning this issue too. And at the end of the presentation, we would like to invite all of you to play the Buds game created by ourselves and learn more about Buds pollution. We are Segal, come from Taiwan, founded in 2021 Global Youth Action Program, which are called Young Fly Actions, that is held by our government. We have three main concepts to tackle cigarette butts pollution. We think education is the best method to help people be conscious about this problem and try to do something different. Statistics is the strongest backup of our actions and campaigns that we can have a more vivid picture to demonstrate how butts pollute the environment to other people. Last but not least, creative actions can help restore others' attention to join us. And who we are. We also have other three members, Simon, Sirius, and Shibalala. You would be curious about why there is a cute dog. That is because our workshop and breakthrough games will appear to help us overcome the obstacles. We will see. And let's get down to business. What pollution results from butts? Cigarette butts are small and tend to be unnoticed, but they are almost everywhere. They are made of cellulose acetate, a plastic material, and contain lots of toxic chemicals. These lingering chemicals include tar, nicotine, and lead, a poison that can affect the brain development of children. When we dispose of butts on the street, they slowly leach into land, posing a serious threat to us and our environment. In the whole world, it will have up to 4.5 trillion butts be discarded, and 10 billion butts in Taiwan are not properly processing. That is to say, each year it would have 4.5 trillion butts waiting for decomposing, and the toxic chemicals in them will last for a long, long time in the environment. Also, 4.5 trillion butts troop will damage our ecosystem, causing fires, do harm to kids and animals. And 4.5 trillion comes each year, but we are just having one life and one Earth. How can we be a rival to this big troop? Let's welcome Elaine.
Okay, thanks, Chloe. Can everybody hear me? Good.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Elaine. It's an honor to be invited to this forum. Now I'm going to show you what we have done and what we plan to do. First, we did a survey to have a better understanding of why cigarette butts are everywhere. Next page, please. And what citizens really want. After the survey, we get to know that people smoke out of stress, society, and curiosity. Only 70% people know cigarette butts cause pollution. And as we wanted to set some cigarette butts barrels in the city, people reacted to be more willing to use it if it has a cool design and had set everywhere. But now we still need to negotiate with our government about setting the barrels. So we started the educational program first. Next, please. Okay, with other organizations' experience, we decided to build our own force. That is, to recruit teachers to set up educational workshops. By our joint effort to prepare teaching materials, and they will bring it into classrooms. According to different grades, we design courses in several levels and can be done with briefings, videos, group discussions, and even online games. For other people who are able to learn by themselves, how we draw their attention remember what Chloe said, creative action. We design online games to let people learning cigarette butts pollution by playing games on GatherTown. GatherTown is an online meeting room with around fully customizable spaces. You can play by yourself or bid with your friends. Later, we'll let you try some of our game. Next is Bye Bye Cigarette Program. In Chinese, we call 烟蒂拜拜. Bai means hundreds and sounds like bye. That means we pick up 100 cigarette butts every day and do it 100 days. Then we can say goodbye to the butts. It's a personal plan. Due to the COVID-19, we can't invite people to clean up together. But with only education program couldn't make cigarette butts disappear. So 1,000 miles begin with a single step. After started, we deeply felt the importance of doing this. Now me and our member Simon are still working on it. Okay, till the end. There are some reflections we want to share. The first thing is, you don't have to do it big, but you must keep doing it. Like Bye Bye Cigarette Program, every day 100 butts are not much, but after a period, the city has become clean and people will see what you have done. Second is strengthen your fast. Our government said if we set more cigarette butt barrels, the smoking rate will increase. But the truth is, the smoker will smoke whatever you set barrels or not. So it's still necessary. Furthermore, as an environmental group, we focus on discarding cigarette butts rather than the smoking itself. Last is that we believe with the passion, we can change the world better. Thank you. If you have any question or suggestion, welcome to visit our Facebook and Instagram page called Cigar, or you can email us cigar2021youngfly@gmail.com to have further cooperation. Now, let's have some game. Please click the link in the chat room. Wait for me a second.
Thank you so much, Chloe and Elaine. Just while you're setting through the link there, I just want to say it's great to hear about what you're doing. I think people often forget that cigarette butts are in fact litter and they're plastic. And I know we definitely have seen plenty of those on cleanups here. So I think it's great what you guys are up to.
Okay, here's the first link. At the same time, Chloe will show the game screen to everybody if you don't have time to play it. Okay, yes. Let's get started.
Started. And the first game is matching. We will fill the blank with the correct answers. Okay, let's start with the most easiest one.
When we talk about the cigarette, it consists of with the filter tip and with the tobacco. So in a cigarette, the inside is tobacco, and after burning, what it will become.
And
I see. So when people click it, they must click on the label on the side and drag it to where it belongs in the diagram.
Yes.
Okay.
And perhaps we can share the other games we prepare for all of you. And that will not consume a lot of time. We just introduce to you. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great. I think we definitely encourage everyone to play that in when they get a chance. It seems like a great way to demonstrate to people the lasting effects of cigarettes and what really goes into it. We're going to be hearing now from one of our youngest presenters today, Romario, when you're ready.
Okay. Good day, my name is Romario Valentine. I reside in Durban, South Africa. I'm 10 years old, and a thoughtful and environmentalist. I'm an Ocean Ambassador, and I've cleaned the beach over 150 times. I help endangered birds, and I've planted 450 trees in 20 countries. I create eco-art pollutants to raise awareness. I have also teamed up with the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification on several occasions to highlight land degradation. I have always cared for nature and our planet. However, when I was 6 years old, I was an orca in a school play. I did research with my mother and discovered that orcas were critically endangered. I decided to do something about it by cleaning the beach weekly. Ocean Soul is an environmental organization in Kenya that was created in 2006. They recycle flip-flops found on the beach and turn them into art sculptures of marine and wildlife animals. They have recycled over 750,000 flip-flops. This project allows them to employ people from the community to raise awareness and protect the ocean, making Ocean Soul an example of a successful circular economy. This is my sea turtle made from 30 recycled flip-flops. Flip-flops are made from a plastic wood eva which breaks down into small pieces in the ocean. The turtles think the plastic bits are jellyfish, which can make them suffocate. In South Africa, Restonic IGM have a similar initiative in collaboration with Sequel. They manufacture eco mattresses created from recycled plastic bottles. Sequel pays fishermen to collect pollutants. Then they upcycle the plastic into yarn, which results in the creation of the luxury hygiene beds. The oceans provide us with oxygen, food, and vital for our survival. For decades, scientists have been warning us about the risks of climate change affecting the ecosystem. If we do not act now, millions of people will be displaced due to floods and raging wildfires on land, which in return will threaten food security and a depletion of wildlife. Since my first beach clean 4 years ago, I've seen a huge increase in pollutants such as plastic bottles, K-Lite, straws, and disposable cups. My question is, if most of marine pollution comes from land, then how can we resolve this problem to make a better sustainable future for generations to come? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Romario, and it's great to hear about all the work that you're involved in, and it's so important to focus on solutions for a circular economy and providing solutions to plastic uses and solutions for plastic waste.
Okay, yeah. So thank you very much. My name is Kevin Mtai, and I'm from Kenya, in a country called Kenya. So I live in a place called Soi, just a few kilometers from one of the town here in Kenya. And I'm an environmentalist and also climate activist. I've been doing this for more than 4 years now. Yeah, so about this, so last year when we started the campaign known as Africa is Not a Dumpster. Yeah, we started with my organization, which I co-founded with my friend, known as Paul Kaluki. So after Greenpeace investigator, that is in US, and also one of the New York Times reporter came up with a report that the United States of America wanted to dispose of their plastic material into Africa, and not only into Africa, but they wanted to use Kenya as their hub. So they wanted to use Kenya to maybe so that they can penetrate different countries in Africa where they can come maybe to dispose of their waste products, especially plastic material and other things. So and one of those companies, it was under American Chemistry Council. This is a bunch of company, including Shell, Exxon. So they wanted to dispose of the plastic material of United States of America into Kenya because they were saying Kenya is one of the, like a market and also hub. Yeah, next slide. As you can see on the screen, that is one of our dam site here in Kenya, known as Dandora Dam Site, one of the biggest dam sites here in Kenya. So, and knowing that for doing introduction, it says that plastic are slightly modern day form of slavery today in the world. Yeah, because the way you have been seeing how this, especially Western countries, they have been doing, especially to this global South country, exporting and also disposing their waste products. They wanted to do that in Tunisia part of this year, but Tunisia were able to rebuke those plastic, and they also wanted to do again this also in other part of Asia, and they were able to rebuke. That's why we are saying, that's why I'm saying plastic is now the silent, the modern day form of slavery in today's world. Worse and still, global South countries and their population are the most when it comes to plastic pollution. 50 environmental and mountain dump sites out of the plastic waste. Yeah, the way I've shown you one of the dump sites here in Kenya, known as the Dandora dump site, it contains a lot of plastic, yeah. And hearing that United States of America wanted to dispose of their plastic material into Kenya, that was not a good idea. And then the solution, according to them, export plastic was for global South country, it was like creating job opportunity, which is not correct here, because they were saying if you are going maybe to dispose of this plastic waste material into Kenya, is going to create like a job opportunity for people who will be working, maybe recycle those plastic material, knowing that even our country, Kenya, we have our own plastic, huge mountain of plastic in different cities, in different towns, but we have not recycled it. Why? They want to maybe to dispose of their waste with their plastic material into Kenya. But those global South countries are even ready to host such a waste, because we are not ready to host such a waste, because first thing, we don't have maybe like a good technology, and also, yeah, a good proper management of this plastic. So importing your plastic into Kenya, it was not a good idea. Next slide, please. And as far as this banning of those plastic which expose community to catastrophic health issue and to contribute to air pollution, as you know, yeah, I was able to get a chance to visit one of the dump sites here in Kenya, and also I think most of you, if you have ever maybe ban a plastic, it usually release some fumes and also some bad like smell, which also sulfur oxide and other dangerous gas, which when you ban this, it usually causes a problem in health and also pollution. And knowing that when they wanted to export their plastic material into Kenya, you see that, and also into Africa, we see that that is one of the biggest mistakes maybe they wanted to do, because one of the things Kenya have been using maybe to control this plastic material is through banning. And when you ban material, plastic material, it usually receives some type of gas, which is sulfur oxide, which is also dangerous compared also to CO2, which it can cause asthma and other related health issue to child and also to human beings. So the time I was visiting the Dandora dam site, I was able to have like to interview a few people, and they told us they have also, most of them, like people living around Dandora dam site, they have a problem of they are asthmatic, which was caused by this banning of this plastic material. Yeah, and also one of the things, as you know, plastic material, it usually not affect human being alone. It also affects animals. I was doing a research in my area, and I was able to get that out of 10 animals die in my area, around 30%, the cause of them is choking by either ingesting plastic material, like a rope, plastic rope. So that has been one of the cause of the death of an animal in my area, but I've not done maybe for Kenya. But after doing that, I was able also to see that this plastic, it also causing the death of domestic animals, not only domestic animals, but also marine animals, because you have been seeing our turtles and our other fish that have been suffering because of indigesting this plastic, and also maybe getting trapped into nets and other things into plastic. Yeah. And that there is a lie that modern day slavery and racial justice commit without any remorse of sense of responsibility. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, so according to the UN environmental report that is on 2018, this is how plastic started around the world. From 1950s to 1970, only a small amount of plastic was produced, so plastic waste was relatively manageable. Yeah, because during that time of 1950, during the 50s and 70s, plastic was not that too large because maybe of demand, and most of the people, they were not using plastic. So after in 2020, output of plastic waste rose more in single decade than it had done in previous 40 years. The reason being in 2020, one of the reasons being COVID-19. As you know, COVID-19 has caused most of the people starting using plastic for preventing in hospital, in gyms, carry food, mask, everything. So it made to the increase of using of plastic, where in other hand, it was decreased using of fossil fuel. And as we know, plastic is one of the products of fossil fuel. So 2020 was one of the most, was using of plastic in the era, yeah. So, and then let's say today we produce more than 300 million tons of plastic waste every year, and that is nearly equivalent to the weight of entire human pollution. So you see, and as we know, we have been able to know different types of companies. We know them by names, which are producing this plastic, which are polluting our environment. That's why I usually say now it's high time for us not to fight climate change, but to fight this fossil fuel company and those people who are polluting the environment. Yeah, because we know them by name, and they're the ones who have been causing pollution around our area, around the world, everywhere. Next slide, please. So this one is action we have done according to this Africa is not a dumpster. So during the Africa is not a dumpster campaign, yeah, we were able to do a strike in Nairobi. And after hearing that, we were able to contact different organizations who were able to show an interest of supporting us. So during that time, we started like a little campaign, like knowing this, we try our best maybe to reach out to different people, because after hearing that the United States of America under American Chemistry Council wanted to have like an agreement deal with the Kenyan government to import their plastic into Kenya. So after that, we came up with a proposal and other different things. So one of them, and this time was during Corona. So one of that was prepare maybe to have like a digital strike and also a physical strike, like a hybrid event. So after that, we sit down with the different activists here in Kenya. We write down what we wanted, and we try our best slowly by slowly to create awareness about this petition, about everything. So during that time, we were able to reach out to different organizations, especially international. One of them being Break from Plastic, CL, Polta South, Arthur Price, and different organizations were able to endorse our campaign. So, and then after that, we were able to, as you can see here, this is the letter we were able to send to me with my friend. We sit down because I have different friends from the US, who are working with different organizations from the US. So we sit down with my friend known as Paul. We sit down and we write down a letter to the U.S. Congress, because during that time, the U.S. Congress and the U.S. Senate, because during that time, the deal was between Kenya government and United States of America. So we end up writing a letter. As you can see, the first is the letter we were able to write, and the people who submit on our behalf are down there. That is Naomi and Becca. So we were able to write a letter to the U.S. Congress and Senate, explain to them about this campaign and why the U.S. government wanted to dispose the waste product. After a few days, we were able to get a reply whereby Congress and the Senate were able to write a letter explaining the same to the former President Trump. So that was one of our actions we were able to take to make sure that this Africa is not a dumpster, and other thing, because Africa is not a dumpster, it's not only about plastic, but it's about climate justice and everything this Western country they have been able to do, especially through the global South countries. So after that, we did a strike in Nairobi. After we were, and then in the evening, we were able to organize a virtual meeting where we had representatives from US and other people from United States of America, and also other people from the government of Kenya tried to tell us more about this this trade deal. And they were able to tell us that the Kenya government, because we had one representative from the Kenya government, was able to tell us that they are not going to accept any deal which is not environmental friendly and also is going to interfere with the people life and also animal. Next slide, please. So this is during our strike. And this what I wanted to tell you, this strike was able to be featured in different media like Reuters, BBC, Voice of America. So as you can see picture, that is during our strike in Nairobi. And down there, this is one of the dam sites in Kenya, one of the biggest dam sites in Kenya. It's in the form of hectares, So as you see there, digital strike in September 25th with the Ministry of Tel, several media interview and feature member of King. And also we had open letter to the different organization where organizations were able to sign and other people. Next slide, please. So as you can see, I wanted to show you during cleanup day, which is just, I think it was last week, I can't remember very well, or the other part of the week, we were able to do a cleanup here in Kenya, try to show people how plastic, especially Coca-Cola and other companies are polluting our environment. The products are just flooded everywhere because was just, we were able to get this in one of the river in the town where I live. As you can see, this is the only just a shortened river where we get this picture. This one over there. As you can see down there, as you can see, these are kind of plastic I was talking about, many of them. So next slide, please. So it's okay. So this is me. I wanted maybe the future plan. This is me in front. Last Saturday, because I was the one who was organizing strike in Kenya, the global strike, so we were able to do a strike here in Kenya. Just try to say, because one of the things which has been able to affect, especially where I live in Lake Victoria, there's one of the most Lake Victoria. I think most of you know is the second freshwater lake here around the world. One of the biggest lake here in Africa. So we were able to do a strike during the global strike under hashtag Let Lake Victoria Breathe. We were trying to educate the community the importance of them using plastic and dispose of them in the river, which usually enter into one of these best lake, which is the source of River Nile. So during this strike, we were able to tell people, because we were walking from the street more than 10 kilometers, telling people, please, 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 don't use plastic, please, because plastic has overtaken us and we need to use sustainable things, and please don't dispose of your waste product everywhere, because our towns here in Kenya, they have been flooded by plastic. We don't see the beauty of the city anymore. So you are trying to create awareness of the people more about plastic and also save Lake Victoria. That's where we are doing the strike. Next, please. Next slide. So the way of supporting what we need support for the campaign, campaign amplification, anywhere partner organization can help supporting this campaign online, support our plans into future as listed above. Other way that may come up as a campaign develop in future. If your organization, maybe you need also support, because for me, the time we were creating this hashtag Africa is not a dumpster, we were not talking about plastic only, but we have different kind of harmful and also climate justice that the Western people are doing to our people here in Africa. Because the last time I was doing a research about mining, the way they did to Congo people, So Congo people is one of the rich country producing mineral, but you end up see this Western country exporting their mineral, and they end up forcing their children to work on those mining sites without paying them, knowing that these are under 18. So this is one of the things we don't want to be in Africa, for different countries to come into Africa, especially Western countries to come into Africa and started making our own people slave for themselves. You can see also one of the campaign also, I'm part of it, it's ECOP. This is there is a pipeline which we want to build from Uganda up to Tanzania. So under this hashtag, this is what we are talking about, because Africa is not a dumpster. It's not only about plastic. No, it's this like what I can say, this like this heading is contain a lot of meaning. It covers a lot of things which Western countries, especially global North countries, are doing to global South, and not only in Africa but also part of Asia. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I want to say thank you. Yeah, the organization is www.kenya.org. Yeah, you can go and visit it to see our work we have been doing there. Yeah, and thank you very much for listening. It was grateful for meeting all of you, and really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It's great to hear what you're doing and the fight that you're fighting there. The photos that you shared were very impactful, and a lot of that plastic waste that you were showing in the photos looks like it's recyclable as well. And yes, I think it's great to hear the work that you're doing. There have been quite a few messages in the chat so far, but we're going to move on to our panel session now. So Grant, Angel, if I could ask you to briefly introduce yourselves. And in the meantime, I think Angel, do you want to go first? And just in the meantime, there were a few suggestions to Chloe and Elaine saying great presentation and educational game. There's some details there of a school of developers that you could contact to see if you can develop the game further and develop a web or even a mobile version. Then there's some comments saying, amazing presentation, Romario, very cool turtle. Romario, do you know where people could purchase some of those turtles if they wanted to? Those ones made from recycled flip-flops from beaches. Are you aware of any?
They're from Kenya.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so maybe on the Ocean Soul website, I think people might be able to look there if they were looking to get one of those sea creatures made from the recycled flip-flops. Angel?
Also, I have a giraffe made from 15 flip-flops.
Oh wow! Okay, that's very cool. I'm sure they must be quite popular. Angel, when you're ready, would you mind quickly just introducing yourself, and then we'll bring up some of the questions that have come through for the panel session.
Sure. Okay. My name is Angel. I currently I'm actually from Singapore. I'm married here and settled down here, and I joined our, let's say, the plastic or pollution, environmental issues, this kind of awareness campaign since. Let's say since the day I joined the course with Cambridge for the sustainability leadership management course. And from that course, and I know we got so many issues for the pollutions, particularly for the plastic. And then once I moved to the Southeast Asia country, I realized how serious the problem is. It's similar to, I think the Kevin just now shared, you know, the pictures were really shocking. And I really saw the coastline was rising up each year. And then I really encountered some people, they lost their homes. That's the reason I decided to, you know, increase my voices with my effort to make sure people are aware of it first, and then do it accordingly in their own action. But my audience mainly is from public. So, so compared to, like, say, government, a massive, like, say, the tool they can help, Singapore government doing quite well, actually, I need to admit it. But I do it in the Singapore just as a hub to increase voices across all these Southeast Asia countries as well. So that's my small, I say, like, mission for myself. But really glad to see everybody, and then you actually put your effort in your area trying to save this earth, which we only have one. No further, no other planet we can survive so far. So glad to see we have all these passionate people protecting our motherland. Let's put that way. But nice to meet you all.
Okay, so Grant Holton, originally born and bred South African, so hi to shout out to Africa, but based now in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. studied agriculture and life sciences, but never really used them when I moved to Europe and my business and work travel. So it's been a few years ago, decided with inspiration from quite a few of the women in my life. My mother, who's got her own charity saving cats all over the world, is actually working on an African wild cat project outside Kruger at the moment by sterilizing all the local feral cats. And the daughters, seeing what my young daughters were studying and their passion, and then also my wife, who's actually got a charity in India helping people in India with the Khazana Foundation with financial inclusion. So motivated by all this, I decided a few years ago to, like Angel, to do the Cambridge Sustainability course to really change my life and contribution and not work. So although I've been quite successful in business in IT and telecom and mobile, I decided to try and do this. And so we started this organization with helping support all these sustainability professionals and mentoring and projects and having an impact. So yeah, glad to be of assistance and really fascinated and really enjoyed the presentations, and well done, keep it going.
Thank you so much, Grant and Angel. If anyone has any questions for the speakers or the panelists, please feel free to send those through. In the meantime, we just have one or two that we've prepped ahead of time. Grant and Angel, could you perhaps advise some of our global ambassadors how they could continue to grow and develop as leaders and spread their environmental messages?
Yes. Okay, so
go
ahead, Angel.
I probably just share my point of view. I think Grant probably can advise. I just share my view, and from my own life experience, so far I have experienced in here. I mean, I wasn't aware of these plastic issues this much when I was in Europe. You know, and especially I come here, and then I was seeing the plastic really floating on the sea like every second. There's no, like say 1 minute I won't spot anything. I mean, like clear, crystal blue sea water. That's a reason I think really shocked me, and I decided to do something about it. For my at the moment I was like doing, let's say I consider myself environmentalist protect people, and then I actually raise my voices in my Facebook, my LinkedIn, my blogs. So far, not bad. I believe some of the people around me, they start to change their behavior on the daily social lives, like how we recycle the plastics and how we're going to reduce it. They are trying to aim to reduce their plastic use to make our living environment better, because we are facing it right now. Every country in here is nearly have a coastline, and then whether we dumped it in Singapore, because in Singapore we burn it, but we still have other plastic floating away, come to our seashore. So I realized only helping, let's say, surround countries probably is not enough. And that's why the, let's say, personal awareness become a public issue and then expand it to a global awareness. That's the best. If every country works so hard, and then I think overall we can have a clean environment to live. That's how, from small become like big range and become global, awareness. And I'm glad to see everywhere else, some people like, from Chloe or Elena, they aware about their cigar issues, and Romario, this young, already know his environmental issues, and he really took protect it. And Kevin as well, and as a really, I can see how hard it is to, let's say, not fight, but just like to let's say negotiate with US government. I can see how the big challenge it is, but they're still brave enough and then ready to protect their land. I think this is something really very, let's say, hope we're actually hoping for. How, I mean, like myself, how to become a voice from myself into a public. It just have to have used different channels, and also approach to the people in power. I think that's my way. And quite lucky, I work in the environment and then have some, let's say, not connection, I mean like colleagues or clients, and they are a leader in this area. So they're willing to support me. That's how I, make my voice heard. Maybe not that loud yet, but I mean, have some effect. That's my way of doing it. So I think to any person out there in your area, you can, if let's say you're thinking your voice is weak, probably grab some professional, let's say this kind of professional people passionate about these issues, actually riding on the same road with you, and then stand on their shoulder to increase your voice, because they are the giants. So you know what I mean. So if I just myself, I don't stand on my teacher or grand shoulder, probably I won't increase my voice this fast. I consider myself fast enough to increase the public awareness. That's the thing. Yeah, that's my personal tips.
Thank you, Angel. Grant, do you want to add to that? I see you have sent a few comments in the chat early on, but do you want to add anything to what Angel said?
Yeah, so I think I mean, the way that, so I'll just relate a little bit the way I approach things, but I mean, I think very important to keep developing your leadership skills, and at your young ages and experience, there's a whole range of opportunities. But I mean, one way is always selling. So I think everyone in the group you always should be selling your know what your message is, and keep on, everybody in the group should know what you're focusing on and how you're going to get there. Look at creative ways to fundraise. I mean, there's an organization you can look at called Ecosystem Regeneration Camps, where John Liu, who started in China but it's gone global, and he gets people to come out and share the experience and actually do the stuff. So get people to come out and pay you to do hands-on work. There are lots of businesses and people that are looking for team building, so you can actually get, because most of you will find fundraising very difficult, and it's not easy in these days, especially in some of the global south, where so keep it simple. Some of the other leadership things you can probably look at is negotiating and conflict management skills. So keep learning. If you find out why, what the other side is also trying to achieve, then you can actually try and meet them to meet your goals. So try and find out, understand what they're trying to do, why they're trying to do it. One of the things you can also do is reach out to a lot of successful people, CEOs, organizations, leaders. They're actually quite keen to help you. Don't be afraid to ask people for help and mentoring in the network, and because experienced and successful people will actually always help people if they show the right kind of passion. And then I think the other one is look, when you're trying to do something, and keep asking the route to your goal, and asking why. What would happen? What am I looking to, and how am I trying to get there? And what would happen if it went wrong, and why did it go wrong? So keep on evaluating. So for example, you can keep on asking, for example, if you go and you want to lose weight, and you don't, after 6 months you haven't lost weight. Well, why didn't I lose weight? Oh, maybe I didn't write down what I ate. I didn't keep track of, why didn't you do that? You could also talk about maybe why you kept on snacking, or you just look for the reasons why, and also plan for the unexpected. For example, if you're trying to meet, what would happen if you did this, or you asked that, or so keep on planning for the unexpected and be prepared for those kind of situations. That's some of my ideas. Hopefully that's useful.
Thanks, Grant. It's definitely always good to have a few backup plans. Kevin, you had your hand raised. Is there something you'd like to add or a question you'd like to ask?
Okay, I just want maybe also to add the way maybe Grant has said, yeah, because for us we have been able to apply different grant and usually find maybe some reject answer, which usually disappoint. Yeah, but we never give up maybe to push on. Yeah, but usually find the way. I think also. We have also to find maybe also racism also have entered into this application, yeah, because usually find the time you struggle a lot maybe to write an application with different lists, because I was able to saw one organization which was saying if you are applying your grant from Africa, you can get this amount to this amount. But if you are applying your grant from Europe, you can get more amount compared to people from Africa. So we usually face those kind of also kind of racism also in this field of maybe application of money and other things. Yeah, we have been able, because several, I think, different organizations, we are able to show that, and it usually discourage a lot of people, especially from Africa, to apply. Yeah, because also this organization, especially knowing that the youth organization from Africa, also they need money to operate. Yeah, they need money to operate this initiative, because most of the people can't volunteer for a long time. We also need to give them something, maybe if they have family, if they are paying the bills. Yeah, we have to give them some money also to give to their people. Yeah, I wanted also to add that one. Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin. It's great to get your input on the Q&A session. Then we're running slightly low on time, but we have just one more question for our panelists, and then we'll extend this question to our speakers today as well. What's something that you wish someone had told you during your journey that would help these speakers today? So be it in the environmental sector, in furthering the goals of their organizations, things like that. Is there any particular pearl of wisdom that you'd like to share as a closing message?
Yeah, I think probably a bit of advice as well was given to me, which I probably it's taken me 30 years to realize it was actually to listen more and ask questions and not talk so much. I think you and I think the other one was, which I've learned, is not to accept no from someone that's not empowered to say yes. So don't get stuck at the receptionist or the secretary level who says no, the boss is too busy. Find another way to reach the boss. Don't or find if they don't if they say no, maybe they don't understand your message or why it was such a good idea, and then you just go back and rephrase it and find out, try another approach and actually start it in a different way. So it's all about the messaging. And just be passionate and just be very stubborn and just keep on going, because you're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of doors are going to slam in your face. I actually learned a lot as a kid selling encyclopedias in Secunda as a 17-year-old and being chased by dogs and going door to door selling. But it's a hard life, but just keep on going. It's don't accept no and just keep on going. If you're right, you're right.
Thanks so much, Grant. Angel, do you have a quick pearl of wisdom that you'd like to share? And then we're going to hand over to Anga to close the session. Angel?
I think I have shared so far quite a lot, but I mean, for the children, I mean, for Romario, I recommend you to come to my blog. I think your English is very excellent, so you are able to read my simple English written there. So you come here to my blog. It recommends how actually the children to learn. I mean, to learn some skills and then to learn some knowledge, and for your challenge you are facing, because with your age, I'm sure the journey is very long, so you will have lots of challenges, and like Grant said, maybe you will counter some bullies from your audience, anything, how to encounter yourself the difficulties, and to go for, and then still focus on what you're doing, and then that determination you need. to hold on this rope, not losing it. So I'm really happy you are this young to involve this plastic environmental protection for your future. So this is my sharing for you if you are interested.
Thank you so much, Angel and Grant. I think there's definitely a lot of enthusiasm and passion from our speakers today for the environment and all the wonderful things that they've managed to achieve so far. I'm going to hand over to Anga now, who's the coordinator of our African Youth Waste Network. She's going to share with us a few words before we close off today.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Tara. You were great as always. Firstly, I am so amazed. This was such a perfect webinar. All three speakers were amazing. Romario, Chloe, Sagar, and Kevin. Thank you so much for your time. And also our panelists, they are very busy people. Grant, I really appreciate your time and your pearls of wisdom. I really like that don't take no for an answer thing. You know, and definitely you're still gonna get a lot of no's in this industry. And Angel, also thank you so much for your time and just sharing your links with everyone to just, we need to keep this conversation going, you know what I mean? So let's all grow together, network together, and share as much opportunities as we can. And then I just wanted to say, like, guys, watch out for Kevin. Kevin is literally the next Greta of Africa. He's going to Norway pretty soon. I think it's at Norway to speak on an amazing panel with Greta. So we're really excited for that. Kevin, we're supporting you and you're gonna do really well. And yeah, I'm Romario, we also wanna see you on that Greta stage one day. So yeah, I'm excited that we just got this opportunity for everyone to be here. And I'm excited for Chloe and the cigar thing as well that they're doing that side. So yeah, okay, he just said he's going to Sweden, then London, then Scotland. Listen to that, Kevin. So yeah, we're giving you a lot of support from SST. And then also thank you obviously to Tara for being so helpful with this. It's a lot of work. And yeah, we're planning another webinar series. So this should be a thing going forward. And yeah, thank you to everyone. And we're excited to continue this conversation. Yeah, peace. I'm done.
Thank you so much, everyone. I think we're going to end it here for today. But again, as Anga said, a special thank you to all of our speakers today. Chloe, Elaine, Romario, Kevin, it was really, really inspiring to hear from you. We will have the recording of the session available on YouTube, and you're also welcome to follow us on social media or check out our events page for any upcoming series. Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.